I'm Oral Hershiser, and I am on Blue Review. Hey, this is Sean Green. You're watching the Blue Review.
Bow,
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 bow.
bow.
Ring. Hey, lots of lasers. It's a
All in one
dang,
inning.
it's a dang laser storm, is what it is. Welcome to the Blue Review on Wednesday morning, presented by LAX. Well, the Blue Review is presented by LAX, not necessarily Wednesday morning. I'm Marcas
It
Grant.
can be if you want it to be.
Sure,
though.
why not? I'm Marcas Grant. That is Greg Bergman, and yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Mostly one particular inning, but there's a lot happening in last night's game.
Absolutely, that inning was just crazy. And it all started with the fans. The fans did it to themselves, chanting "Shohei sucks" and overrated. It was on you guys. It was on you, Yinzers. Yinzer's gonna go down after you start making fun of Shohei, eh?
Yinzer's got to wear that one for a while. So, yeah, for sure. So, we'll get into that and plenty more. But first, want to let you know the Blue Review is powered by LAX. What does it take to build a champion? At LAX, it takes round-the-clock testing. Skylink is being perfected right now to connect you to the airport, the new rental car center, and metro in under 10 minutes. For more information, visit lawa.org/ESPN. All right. Well, obviously the Dodgers a huge win yesterday, 12-3, the final score, doing most of their damage in the seventh inning, 10 runs. So this comes, Greg, not too long after they had a 9-run first inning against the Angels on Saturday. Now on Tuesday night, they put together a 10-run seventh inning. Is this more about the Dodger offense, or is this more about Angel and Pirate pitching in those games?
I think it's a little bit of both. The Pirates bullpen is a little bit soft. That's something you can get to the Pirate bullpen. It just they were seeing Paul Skenes, who was pitching well. I don't think he was pitching like out of his mind, where I was like, wow, he's the best pitcher I've ever seen, like I normally do. This one, he just felt like a normal pitcher that was just pitching well. Nothing good, nothing bad. But I think it's a little bit of both. I think some of it is the pitching that they saw, and some of it is just that this team is hitting, and it's hitting well right now. It's just finding gaps. It's not a lot of slug either in there. It's a lot of singles. They get some walks. There was an error. I mean, there was the home run from Pages, but besides that, it's just moving guys along and keeping it going. They went the first 9 batters of that seventh inning, and there was 0 outs, and they went all the way up and down the lineup. I thought that was pretty crazy.
That was kind of amazing just to see that all happen. And yeah, it started with these Shohei sucks and the overrated chants. And then eventually, next thing you know, Shohei's up there hitting an RBI double. He's driving in a run with a bases loaded walk. It was a whole thing for the Dodgers in that inning. You did make the point, though, and you actually made this point yesterday on the show, too, about Paul Skenes, that he has not been just the dominant force that we were used to seeing, that teams were scoring runs off of him. Teams were hitting him. And I had that feeling watching it last night that, sure, he held the Dodgers to 2 runs and he worked himself out of some spots. But I also at no point felt like the Dodgers were overmatched, where it felt like that happened previously when they've seen Skenes, where he was up there and he's running it up there at about 98, 99 miles an hour. Guys were swinging and missing. It felt like they would be lucky to scratch out a run. In fact, was it last year, 2 years ago, where Shohei hit a home run and that was kind of it that they got off of Skenes. I didn't feel like that last night. The guys were having good bats. They were being patient. He had 7 strikeouts, but that's what he does. I mean, that's nothing to really fret about. I think the thing that sort of capped it for me was at one point Alex Freeland stood in there and slapped a base hit to left field. I was like, oh, yeah, they can hit him today. Even if they're not scoring a ton of runs, they're getting guys on base. And yeah, I don't know, I don't want to say that Skenes is having look, he's still throwing 97 miles an hour, but they mentioned it on the broadcast. His average velocity is down about a mile an hour from where it was last year. So he does look kind of like a different guy right now.
Yeah, he does. And that's, he's still one of the best pitchers on the planet, but he's having a little bit of a rough time for him.
Yep.
Now, for somebody else, for like Emmett Sheehan or somebody like that, you're like, oh, what a great outing he had. So it's levels to all this. But put it this way, he had I think 9 pitches in the first inning where he just went right through Shohei, Pages, and Freddie, and then Shohei would ground it. It was a soft grounder. Pages was a soft grounder back to Skenes, and then Freddie had to just took a long at bat, but still was able to it was a fly out to center field. But it was 9 pitches. He ended 6 innings at 103. So he just wasn't efficient with his pitching. And that's kind of what I was noticing yesterday too, when I was looking at his last game stats, is that he is not very efficient with it. He's getting around 100 pitches. And this is 6 innings was the most he had gone in about 5 starts. So he's using a lot of pitches. He's getting into a lot of 3 and 2 counts. And he's just not fully finding it. He's a little bit wild. And I wonder if there's something going on. I don't know. We don't watch this isn't the Pirate review, but I just wonder what's going on with him. But it was for the Dodgers. It was nice to see that they could just like stand in there. Like to your point, Freeland didn't look overmatched. Ward looked a little overmatched, rushing at times looked overmatched, but Freeland didn't.
No, not at all. And so that was really, really good to see. The other part of that is you want to talk about the duality of man. In the first inning, Eric Lauer gets the first 2 outs. Then he gives up back-to-back home runs, just an awful hanging breaking ball to Brian Reynolds, and then just leaves one over the middle of the plate to Ryan O'Hearn that gets crushed. And at that point, I put in the text chat that Eric Lauer might allow me to take the afternoon off pretty early. But after that, he was fantastic. I think he retired the last 12 in a row that he faced. He gave up another single, which was just a fly ball that Andy Pages kind of lost in the sun and Alex Freeland couldn't get to. So it wasn't like a lot of hard contact. Eric Lauer, I owe you an apology. I was not familiar with your game. I'm not going to suddenly say that Eric Lauer is just a lock for the rotation. I still think River Ryan gets that spot ultimately in the short term, but credit to Lauer, man. After those home runs, he bounced back and was solid the rest of the way.
I mean, I've been with you this entire time. I still believe that if he's in the rotation in July, something went wrong, but I can't. He's been really good through his first 3 starts. He's not giving up runs. He's getting strikeouts. He looks like the guy kind of that we saw when he was in Milwaukee. And you're like, oh, that guy was actually pretty decent. And a little bit last year with Toronto. I got to give it up to him. Can't kill him too much because he's been good. He didn't get the win in this game, I don't believe.
No, he did not.
No, Klein did. Weird. We can talk about Klein, where he was out for like an hour and then came back in just mowing dudes down at 100 miles an hour. But Eric Lauer, everything that you kind of were hoping that he would be as just a spot starter, and he's been good. That's what's going on with this rotation right now. This rotation is just good. The only one that wasn't good was Sheehan on Sunday, and that's it. Everybody, Roki, Robleski, Otani, Yamamoto, it doesn't matter who they put out there. They're just going 6 or 7 innings every single game. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math right now. In his 3 starts with the Dodgers, 5 earned runs in 16 and a third innings. Do the math. That's a 2.75 ERA.
Wow.
In 3 starts. That you'll take that all day, especially from a guy that you were adding just to eat innings and to take a few starts here. And he's been good enough to keep you in games. He got a win in that. In fact, the Dodgers have won all 3 of his starts so far with the team. So shout out to Eric Lauer. Absolutely wild.
You said it the best. I was not familiar with your game. Like, good for you, man. Good for you. Shut me up. I love it.
It's fantastic. Shout out to Eric Lauer, who has been very productive. And you know what? Again, he's going to be that guy if the Dodgers win the World Series this year, that next year he'll either be on another roster or he'll stop by the ballpark randomly and he'll get his World Series ring, and we'll be like, yeah, remember those Eric Lauer starts? Like that was something, huh?
Remember that guy?
Remember that guy?
It was great for us.
So what's going to happen if they win another World Series this year? Other things from last night, I guess we should. Well, congratulations are in order to Freddie Freeman. Career hit number 2,500, the only active player in the majors with that many hits.
Yes.
Also, I think I saw this one, the first player to reach 2,500 hits since Robinson Cano in 2019.
Wow.
So
Wait, hold on. Robinson Cano got 2,500 hits. That's kind of surprising.
You know what? Yeah, let's go and we'll look up and see how many hits Robinson Cano finished with in his.
He was a good player, but 2,500 hits, good. Wow. I mean,
yeah, I also feel like he kind of hung around for a while, kind of at the end of his career, and maybe that had some. He has 2,639 hits in his career, but
wow.
But some of these were him kind of hanging on at the end with the Mets. He played a handful of games with the Padres and a handful of games with the Braves at the end of his career.
So my question on this, and it's good for Robinson Cano, but the question on this, so he has 2,500 hits. He's probably going to get another. I mean, he's at right around 70 hits right now, 69 hits, and he's probably going to get to about 150. So that would put him. That's another. Was it another 80 hits that he's going to get this year? Put him at 2,580. Try to put it. Let's just call it 2,600. So we need 400 hits. That's a little over. Maybe a little over. Maybe 2 to 3 years. 3 years. Maybe even into the fourth, depending on injury.
Yeah.
Is he a Dodger when he gets to 2,300 to get to 3,000? Because that's something that he wants to do. He has talked about it many times.
Yeah.
He wants to get the milestone. He wants to get the 3,000 hits. I mean, if he's giving you 150 hits a year, does he stick around? He's under contract for a couple more years. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, he says he wants to play until he's 40. He wants to get 3,000 hits. Now, he did sort of change that tune a little bit after his daughter was born. And he said he wants to maybe spend a little bit more time at home. But I do think that's important to him. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say, yeah, if he accomplishes that, it will be as a Dodger. I get the feeling that he'll sort of look. Remember those years that Justin Turner, those last couple of years where it wasn't necessarily the same Justin Turner, but what he meant to the ball club was so important that they kind of kept him around. I think you kind of get something like that with Freddie, but I think you might see a little bit more productivity out of him. But I think what he has meant to this team and what he's been able to provide, I think gives him a little bit more leeway. Now, that in the long term could be, if you're Dalton Rushing, it maybe hampers your development a little bit. It maybe prevents somebody else from coming up if that happens. But I think they give him the opportunity as long as his game just doesn't fall off a cliff.
I mean, it's 1 more year under contract. 2027 is his last year. I mean, obviously they can extend it, but he can't be a DH. Like, he's a great first baseman, but he has to play the field every single day as a Dodger. So is that something, where he's like, I would love playing the game. I'll maybe do another year here, maybe 2, but at some point he's going to want to move to DH so he doesn't have to play first base and hurt his body even more. I don't know. Freddie, to me, stays as long as Freddie wants. He changed my life in Game 1 of the World Series in 2024. That was the greatest moment I've ever seen live in game. Period. 100%. Nothing better than I've ever seen. So for that, Freddie's a Dodger forever for me. And I was at the game that on Friday where he hit a walk-off. I get it's the Angels, but seeing a guy hit multi walk-off home runs, it gets you right in the feels. You know what I mean? So
I'm sure. I'm sure it does. So, Lost 9165 in the chat brings up something that I thought about yesterday after the 2,500th hit. Says if Freddie gets 3K with the Dodgers, he goes into the Hall as a Dodger. And I was thinking about this. I think we've talked about this before, but it was worth sort of revisiting. Now, he spent a long time. He spent 12 years with the Braves.
Yeah, he's there a long time.
This is year number 5 with the Dodgers. I know that we are biased. When it's all said and done, will you think of him more as a Brave or a Dodger?
I mean, I don't even think of him as a Brave anymore, honestly. But it's biased too. I think if you ask somebody in Atlanta, they'd probably think of him as a Brave. I was watching highlights to try to go to sleep last night on TikTok it was the 2021 series or was it 2020 series,
Mhm.
Dodgers versus Braves, where they were down 3-1 and came back to win it, and then they ended up winning the World Series. And it was Freddie Freeman that was on
Yeah.
that team, and it was like, that looks weird. But think about what he did there. He was a World Series. He was a World Series champion. He was an MVP there. Here, he's won 2 World Series. So I mean, there's multiple things that are that he has at both places. The longevity of Atlanta, I think probably he goes in as a Brave, but the more he does here, I don't know. I think he goes in as a Dodger because he's going to end up doing more, being a part of probably the greatest roster in the history of the game.
Yeah,
and being a big part of that too, not just some nonsense.
Well, you talk about him winning 2 World Series. He was also the World Series MVP in 2024 too. On top of it, I mean, he had the walk-off grand slam. He had home runs in his first three games of the World Series. I think it was.
That was insane. Right?
That was so like there is a strong case for him to go in as a Dodger. I think the longevity might end up winning out at this point. Now, but so if I remember right, it's no longer the player's choice, correct? Like the player doesn't get to choose anymore because Wade Boggs ruined that.
I don't think so.
I think Wade Boggs ruined it for everybody when he basically auctioned it off to the highest bidder.
But that shouldn't be the reason that they don't do it. You should be able to choose what team you go in as. Like I'm pretty sure that Mike Piazza's a Met in there, right? He's not a Dodger.
Yeah, I wanted him to go in as a Marlin. But that was just
yeah, that's fine. Let him
I just wanted him to go in as a
I'm not a Piazza fan anymore.
After he took shots at Ben and the fan.
At Finn.
That
was it.
He was pretty much dead to us. But yeah, I mean, for the week that he spent with the Marlins, that I felt like he should go in with that. Let's see.
But you should be able to choose, no? Like if you're going to do the Hall of Fame, you should be able to choose where you want to be.
I would think so. Or we just do away with them wearing the hat in the plaque or whatever, so that way guys, especially now that guys play for multiple teams. It was one thing when long ago when guys just stayed with a team for the entirety of their careers. I mean, Willie Mays is always going to be a Giant, and Sandy Koufax is always a Dodger, whatever. But like now, even stars play with multiple teams across their career, so it's become a little bit different. So I don't know.
Mookie goes in as a Dodger, right? There's no chance he goes in anything else.
Well, he's been with the Dodgers longer than he's been with the Red Sox, so I think
at this point, and he got 3 World Series rings with the Dodgers.
He got 1 with the with Boston. So yeah, I think he absolutely goes in as a Dodger when it's all said and done. So yeah, I don't know. Just ask about that. Another question. This one from Share Bear in the chat. Is Dalton dirty? Just asking. Dalton Rushing was at it again yesterday with a slide that was more than questionable. In fact, it ended up leading to Alex Freeland being called out on a double play because he went well wide of the second base bag to try and take out the Pirates infielder who was trying to turn a double play. Again, admitting bias here. I don't know that I call him dirty, but he is a little, how do we say? He's a little bit of a chapper, right? Like he's one to,
chapper. That's good. I like that.
He's a little bit of a chapper, He's gonna get out there and he's gonna do things to push other teams' buttons. I think the thing about the Rockies, taking shots at the Rockies, the whole F him, which may or may not have been about Jung-Hoo Lee.
The Giants.
Yeah. Those plays weren't dirty, but they do tweak the other team a little bit.
So I'll say it. I think he has dirty tendencies, like that. He plays hard. He's that gnat. He's the annoying guy. The Dylan Brooks of baseball.
I like that.
Somebody that is a good player. That
and there's the slide down there.
Yeah. He's just look how far. I mean, he's
not
like
even
5
close.
feet. It wasn't even close.
You're not even close.
I mean, I get that you're coming at an angle, but that was way outside. He's got some dirty tendencies. He's going to try to get under your skin, and he's going to try to annoy you. There's a bunch of dudes like that. Chris Paul was like that. Rondo was like that. I know I'm just talking about basketball players, but I think that's the type of player that he is. He's that annoying, has the dirty tendency type player.
Yeah. He is the guy too on a roster that's full of likable guys. We've talked about this, right? The Dodgers as a whole, people don't like the organization. People don't like sort of what they've been able to accomplish and how they've accomplished it. But I don't think people individually hate the Dodgers, right? I don't know. Maybe Pirates fans feel differently about Shohei after they chanted "Shohei sucks" and then he, beat them.
What was that about? Like, why? Like, just to talk about it for a second. Why? Why would you even do that? Like, if pick somebody else. Like, I get that you want to try to get under his skin. I get you want it, but that's just the wrong dude. The wrong.
Yeah,
he's a Jordan. I took that personally kind of guy.
He kind of is, right?
Wrong
but like,
dude.
but he'll say it in a nice way. Like he won't just put it out there. Yeah, I don't know why they
I
did
appreciate you saying that you don't like me, but I'm going to show you that I'm very good.
Right, exactly. It's the old SNL skit. It's like a point counterpoint where Seth Meyers was like, Derek Jeter sucks, and Derek Jeter's like, I don't. Like that's the whole thing, right? Yeah, it's just. I don't know why they did it. And Dalton Rushing, though, is the guy that he is the villain of the team. Not like in the way that you and I talk about having a villain, but he's the guy that he is the bad guy. He should change his walk-up song to Billie Eilish's Bad Guy, because that's kind of who he has become on this team. And in some ways, maybe it's good. Like, I think as long as it doesn't blow back on other guys, it's nice having that guy with an edge, I think is kind of nice.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit, and by the way, I love that. He should lean fully into it, play bad guy as his walk-up song. That would be incredible. But, there was also a video later on that I was seeing that Freddie Freeman, when he got to second base, was apologizing.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, don't worry about it. That guy. It's just Dalton, he's just doing his thing there. We know how that is. We'll talk to him. Don't worry about it. We got it.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this before with Dalton Rushing. It's okay as long as it doesn't affect the clubhouse. Yeah. And I don't think it is right now, but it can. And if it gets to that point and you're having to have your veterans apologize for you, if that is what he was doing, then that starts to be just a little bit of a problem. Yeah.
This is also where it's good to have a veteran clubhouse with guys who have been around for a while, guys who've had success, and who've just kind of seen and understood how it's done. So it's a thing that I don't think will get to the point of becoming a problem, because, as you mentioned, guys like Freddie, Mookie, they will, Will Smith, even Miguel Rojas for sure, they will police this sort of thing. They will take care of it in-house and make sure it does not become a problem. Part of me sort of laughed when I saw that slide, because even in real time, I'm like, dude, you weren't even close to the bag. Like, what are we doing here? So
yeah, that's just a little bit, just a bit outside.
Just a bit outside. All right. So tonight's game 2 of the 3-game series between the Pirates and the Dodgers. Shohei Day. It is Shohei Day for the Dodgers. First pitch at 3:40. Pacific time, that is. It'll be Shohei Ohtani going against Jared Jones, the young Pirate prospect. So we'll see. It's supposed to be the next big thing for the Pirates. Right now, 1-0, an ERA of 4.82. I believe he's only made 2 starts so far this season. So we'll see what he has against the Dodgers. And, of course, we'll be back here to talk about it tomorrow morning. Thanks to everybody in the chat for hanging out with us. Thanks to Brooke for production assistance as well. Stick around for the Sedano and Cap Morning Extravaganza coming up right after us. In the meantime, that'll do it for this edition of the Blue Review presented by LAX. For Greg Bergman, I'm Marcas Grant. We'll see you tomorrow, 6:30 to 6:55 here on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. See ya.
See ya.